Hey friends, I just wanted to do a quick little flip through of my Revival Camp Traveler's Notebook that I put together this year. So I just thought I would walk you through it real quick. So as you can see, this is my Traveler's Notebook. I ordered this one from Dayspring with the very first kit, and as you can tell, it got a little bit chunky and I kind of love it. It might not fit in my actual Traveler's Notebook cover with all the rest of my Revival Camp ones, but I love it. So here it is. So I started off, and I did a flip through of this earlier this year, but I'll just kind of go through it all again. I started off just decorating the cover, and I just embellished it with a cute little postcard that I picked up on our family vacation to Georgia, and then just a bunch of fun little embellishments. This background was from Revival Camp a couple of years ago, and I just put in a little prayer there. And then you'll see pretty much the same layout for each entry. I did the devotional that I just taped in, and then I just kind of embellished it. And then on the following page, I tended to do like a little cluster up top using Elaine's little graph paper thing tab, and I would stamp out the word. And then I would just kind of do a cluster of stuff and do like a big title and then just my journaling. And then on the next pages, I used the old layout, the old field notes layout from a couple years ago, and I just taped those in as well. And so you'll see pretty much the same layout here. I always put in the verse, just my thoughts, and just kind of some general prayers and thoughts for the week. So that was the first week by Shauna. This was the second week by Tanya about prayer. And I just loved each of these weeks. Honestly, every week really hit home exactly when I needed to. There were times when I felt like I was falling behind, but every time I got to that devotional, it was just so clear that that was exactly what I needed for that day and that week. For this one, I kind of tucked in this little book that I picked up at an antique store in Georgia on our vacation, and they're just all little answered prayers. I thought that was so cool. The third week was Fellowship by Janet, and there's a little picture of me and Bridget at the Scrapbook Expo. I saw her this summer, and it was super fun. And I loved using this kit by Shauna Klingerman from the Print and Pray shop. It was so cute. And my adorable little bow from Lori. I loved that this week fell right after seeing all of my Illustrated Faith girls at the expo. It was so fun. The fourth week of the first kit was LaQuisha's entrance about heart, and I loved how this one harkened back to Nehemiah, which was the first revival camp 2 years ago, and that revival camp really kicked my butt, and so it was just a really cool throwback to that. And I loved using a bunch of these little things from the Strong and Brave set that Tanya put out a while ago. And then what I did was at the beginning of each new kit, I just kind of did like a double spread, just kind of with a general theme and prayer. So this first one, I just said, I want to get away with you. And this was as I was just getting home from vacation, and just really remembering that getting away with God is really super important. And when we unplug from daily life, that's when he's really able to talk to us, and we're really able to listen. So this was the second kit, and it started out with Jillian about preparing, and I loved this little squirrel guy. It was super fun, and she just had a bunch of really great points, and I loved using this little acorn stamp from last year's Gratitude Documented. So fun. And I cut out all these little guys from a bunch of paper collections that I had. They were so cute. Thought they went with the squirrel nicely. The second week was from Kristen about route or route, whichever you'd prefer. But I loved this one, just really being willing to listen to what he wants to lead us to. And that's been really huge for me. This second kit came at a really great time for me, and I was just able to really focus on my word of the year, which was trust. And just really listening to what God's calling me to and where he's calling me to right now in this season of life. The third week was from Amy on commit, and I loved this. Once again, my word, it's like, hello, God's trying to talk to me over and over again. I just need to listen, I guess. But I loved this one about how we just need to be brave enough to take that first step. And I loved how this week and then the following week from Heather on courage really went great with the song Oceans and then the song You Make Me Brave. I loved both of those songs, and I definitely had some late night worship sessions at my craft table, just singing those songs. And that finished up the second kit. So then I did this double page spread, which just says never stop exploring with him. And I tucked in a little journaling card in here with my thoughts and prayers as we headed into the final kit. And this one started out with Elaine talking about challenge and just all the mountains and valleys that we go through. And I really loved this die cut piece. And had to throw in a little Elaine mountain in there. The second week was from April on leadership. This one also kind of hit home for me. I tend to think of myself as a behind the scenes, not leader person. I don't want to lead 9 times out of 10. But I keep finding that God is definitely calling me to certain leadership areas. And so it's my job to just trust him and have courage and really believe that my gifts do matter. And the final entry was from Tamara about praise, and I loved this one. There was many worship sessions at my desk this summer, and so it was just really great to listen or like read about all of the different types of praise that are listed. I loved including this cute little clippy from Simple October, and I stuck a little tag in here so I can do more journaling if I want to. But there was just so much goodness in these kits, and I did a couple Bible entries for a lot of them. I also did this little double page spread just saying he knows the name of every star. This was coming out of the second kit as well, and I used a little trail mix and journaled in there. And we're wrapping it up here. These are my final entries. I stuck in one of the little baggies and some cute paper clips. This idea was totally inspired by Vanessa Walker. She did like a little page made out of her old Wordfetti, and I was like, that is such a good idea because I have so much old Wordfetti. So this old Wordfetti set was from one of the old Revival Camp kits, and I just made a little backdrop out of that, and I loved that. Thought that was really fun. And then as I wrapped up my book, I made little stamp badges of all of the badges and included that in there so that I have a full badge set, and I have a final page that I can still journal on. I want to take a bunch of the journaling notes that I put into my Bible on this page, and so I just need to transfer those over so I have them together. And then I've got one space for a final prayer and a wrap up with another postcard. And that is my Revival Camp notebook. It was such an awesome, fun summer. I'm super thankful to Shauna and Dayspring and all of the artist contributors. And devotional contributors. It was all amazing. So thank you so much. Yay!